In the yard, Max, a big German shepherd, sat there in the snow, coiled up, refusing to go into his kennel. Firmly, his thick fur flecked with ice, his proprietor Tom was standing at the window, perplexed. For many years, Max had loved sleeping in that kennel since it was dry and full of new straw. He had no justification for being outside in the icy weather. Tom initially believed Max was being obstinate. Perhaps he wanted to remain near the woods or had heard an animal outside. However, when it occurred again the following night and the night after, a knot of uneasiness started to twist in Tom's stomach. Why would a clever dog voluntarily choose discomfort over the cold when something wasn't right? Tom was not the type of man to get worked up over little matters. As a veteran forest ranger, he had witnessed enough odd animal behavior to understand that occasionally dogs just follow their instincts. However, seeing Max lie shivering in the snow night after night, while his comfortable kennel stayed untouched only a few feet away, bothered him. Tom started by inspecting the kennel. He squatted down inside after opening the wooden door. There was nothing, no bad odor, no damaged boards, and no indication that an animal had entered. It was dry clean, exactly as he had maintained it. Max refused to move, even when he changed the straw, put one of his favorite blankets inside, and threw some candy within. He backed aside, whined softly, and smelled the entryway. Max put his paw's tail down and gazed into the kennel, as if it were a cave full of monsters, despite Tom's attempts to call him in more firmly and then more gently. He even took him into the entrance on a leash. That evening, Tom watched his devoted dog curl into a frozen ball once more while standing at the kitchen window with his arms crossed. His breath caused the glass to fog up. Tom had to discover what was preventing Max from going near the kennel. Tom couldn't get rid of the feeling that something wasn't quite right by the fourth night. Normally a happy, tail-wagging friend, Max had become tense and nervous. He wasn't eating as much as he used to, and he spent much of his time along the property's edge, staring at the trees with his ears pricked up as though he were listening for something Tom couldn't hear. Tom leaned down and pressed his ear to the wooden floor, half joking that perhaps something was living beneath it, but all he heard was silence. Throughout the day, Max refused to approach the kennel, not even when enticed with steak or his favorite toy. Instead, he circled it sniffing warily, his posture low as though he was afraid. Then one afternoon, Tom saw that the kennel's exterior back wall had severe scratches on it. Before, they weren't there. He ran his fingers down the long, jagged grooves that seemed like something had attempted to claw its way in or out. New Max didn't sleep that night. Instead, he paced and gave the kennel fangs a low snarl while they were slightly exposed. Tom made the decision to remain up and observe after that. He had to see it with his own eyes whether there was anything out there. Tom put on his thickest jacket and made a pot of strong coffee. With Max resting next to him like a sentinel, he placed a chair beside the window that overlooked the kennel. The snow had returned, flurries of light swirling in the porch light's beam. Hours went by. Midnight arrived and vanished. Tom was about to fall asleep when Max sprung to his feet and let out a loud, low roar. Tom leaned forward and abruptly woke up. He followed Max's gaze with his own. At that moment, he noticed it. Due to insufficient wind, the kennel door he had securely shut creaked open on its own. A faint rustling then emanated from within. Tom went outside after getting a tiny crowbar and his flashlight. Max remained silent and stiff by his side. The snarling became louder as Tom got closer to the kennel. Max moved to stand between Tom and the door. Tom knelt, raised the flashlight, and illuminated the interior. His heart almost quit beating. There was something living, shaky, and filthy curled in the far back corner. Back at him, two large eyes blinked. It wasn't a wild animal or a raccoon. It was a fearful and icy puppy. Tom gazed at the small, immobile thing at the rear of the kennel. The puppy didn't bark or snarl and was only a few weeks old, with its ribs visible through its matted fur. It only gazed up at him, its eyes too exhausted to hold forth hope. Max moaned next to him, cautiously and gently moving forward as if he already understood the pup's tale. Tom lowered himself and softly placed the crowbar. He muttered, "Hey, little one," and held out a hand. The puppy flinched, but instead of running, it fell onto its side because it was too tired to struggle. Tom saw something, and then its back legs had marks on them. Burns on rope. This puppy had been tied up and left to freeze by someone. Tom felt a great rage twist in his stomach, but Max gently reminded him of what was important just now. Tom saved this dog's life by reaching in, bringing the freezing puppy into his arms, and covering it with his coat. Max licked the puppy's small face and sniffed it, seemingly indicating, "You're safe now." Tom was shocked that someone had done this, but then Max's odd actions made sense. He wasn't scared of the kennel. Instead, he was defending something within. Someone who needed both of them. Max ran closely behind Tom as he hurried back to the house, holding the small puppy against his chest. Snowflakes stuck to their coats and fur, but neither of them was aware of the cold anymore. The puppy scarcely moved, and each tiny inhalation sounded like a battle from inside. Tom put the puppy next to the fire on a cozy blanket. The child could hardly raise its head when he brought a bowl of warm water and some food, so Max lay down next to it and softly licked its ears while remaining nearby, like a guardian. Tom marveled, having never witnessed Max treating another animal with such gentleness. He phoned the neighborhood veterinarian right away, and I'm taking the puppy in now after finding it half frozen. Tom gently wrapped the puppy in a matter of minutes, and he never left the bundle in his lap while driving through the snow with Max in the back seat. "It's a miracle he survived this long," the veterinarian at the clinic said, nodding grimly as he examined the puppy. "But he's a fighter." Tom glanced down at Max, who gave a tiny tail wag. Max had not only located the puppy, but he had also made the decision to keep it safe, and that decision had saved a life. The town heard the narrative. When neighbors stopped Tom when he was out for a stroll and inquired about the puppy in the kennel, Tom would always grin and respond, "Max was the one who made all the difference." The greatest miracles can occasionally result from the tiniest deeds. And occasionally, the bravest heart of all is a puppy dozing in the snow.